Hello, everyone. Well, guess what? I'm not going to put up with having my video interrupted anymore. You've noticed that my videos lately have been interrupted right when I'm talking about something very important, and that's because of the low quality of the video software I was using, and also my computer is getting old. But now I've got all new, fresh. I've got my new computer, and I've got new capture software on my new computer. So I'm not going to have any more interruptions of my speech anymore. I'll be able to give uh, speech without any interruptions and without, um, like disturbances where it's not capturing and it's interrupted and where there's no sound and it keeps freezing up on me. That's not going to happen anymore. So I'm really pleased. I'm real pleased. I'm real happy with my new software, and I'm going to stick with it from now on. So, um, on to the news. Very sad news. Charlie Kirk was assassinated, and we're really sorry for Charlie Kirk and his family and everyone involved. Um, we're very sorry to Charlie Kirk, and we're sorry to the people who came to see him and were terrorized by this gunman that came out of nowhere. And this is like the second uh, mass shooting in just like a month that involved someone that was transgender. Now, the shooter wasn't transgender, okay? The shooter wasn't transgender, but he was in a romantic relationship with a transgender female. So, male to female, transgender individual was his lover, or at least his roommate. And he himself was probably gay. Um, he wasn't he wasn't transgender himself, but he was possibly gay, and um, he was very opposed to the Republican Party, and he was opposed to. Now, here's what happened. Okay, here's what happened. Jimmy Kimmel gave a speech on his monologue where he denied that the suspect was was anything but a Republican. He wanted people to think. Jimmy Kimmel wanted people to think that the suspect was a Republican just because his parents were Republican or just because he was pro gun. We don't even know if he's pro gun or not. All we know is that he used a gun and that he was very good marksman because of his parents teaching him how to use a gun. So, and also, they went hunting and things like that. So we know that Charlie Kirk's killer was not a Republican. He was very liberal, and it was wrong of Jimmy Kimmel to lie and say that this kid was a Republican. And now he's lost his show. Jimmy Kimmel is off the air now, and Democrats are trying to sound the alarm, saying, "Oh, this is a loss of freedom of speech," but you're not allowed to lie in a public venue. And so, because Jimmy Kimmel lied about this kid saying he was a Republican, that he was one of their own, one of the Republicans' own, because he lied, he lost his show. And now Trump has been saying things like things that alarm the Democrats. He's been saying that that the Democrats are that any liberal media company should be censored. That's what he wants to do. He wants to censor the liberal media companies, and that's not right either. So Trump is also on the wrong side in this discussion. He just doesn't want to be criticized. Trump doesn't want to be criticized. He says, well, they get a license, maybe their licenses should be revoked. So he is attempting to censor the Democratic liberal media. And that's not good either. That's not good either. We don't want censorship. But if any of you have been wondering, well, what is your political affiliation? What is my political affiliation? I'm a moderate. And there's things that I find objectionable about both parties. And there's also things that I don't find objectionable about both parties. So somewhere right in the middle. And I've heard people say that it was a liberal who said this, that they think that people who are moderates are stupid. Now, just beside the idea that people who don't agree with you completely are stupid, besides that, calling a person who is moderate stupid is a stupid thing in itself. That's stupid, calling a moderate stupid, because moderates make up their own mind. Only moderates decide what is right and what is wrong all by themselves. They don't conform to any political party's main subjects. So on any given subject, they moderates decide for themselves what they believe, what they think, what they want to do, what they don't want to do. And you know what? The majority of politicians in the past were moderates. Even Joe Biden claimed to be a moderate so he could get elected, and then he put a bunch of ultra liberals into all of his positions in his cabinet. But yeah, the moderates decide for themselves. So are you calling all of the people who were that lived in the past in our country, that were our founding fathers, were they stupid? Were they stupid for making up their own minds about certain subjects? I mean, it's so ridiculous to call a moderate stupid. That's dumb. That's dumb. It is a reflection on the person who says it. Because they don't make up their own minds. They let somebody else make up their mind for them. On any given subject, whatever the subject may be, they allow the Democratic Party or the Republican Party, in this case it was the Democratic Party, to make the decisions for them. And I don't do that. I don't let Democrats make up the decisions for me. And so, no matter what Charlie Kirk may have said, no matter what Charlie Kirk may have done, he didn't deserve to die for it. He didn't deserve to die because of what he said. He should be allowed to have freedom of speech also. Charlie Kirk deserved freedom of speech, and he didn't deserve to die for what he was saying. No matter what it was that he may have said, he didn't deserve to die. So we know that this killer of Charlie Kirk is in the wrong. He is in the wrong, and whatever his political affiliation is, he did not have the right to kill Charlie Kirk. And so, just remember that Charlie Kirk, he wasn't a martyr, but he was a man who deserved freedom of speech and was denied freedom of speech, denied his right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. He was denied his right to life. So we condemn this killing of Charlie Kirk in the strongest possible way, and we don't approve of censorship in any way, shape, or form. We don't approve of censorship, and we don't approve of Trump censoring liberal media any more than we approve of Charlie Kirk being silenced. So here's another thing. If this is a very big if there hadn't been any guns, that Charlie Kirk would still be alive today. If there had been no guns. Now, how you would enforce no guns is a very big if. But if there had been no guns, Charlie Kirk would still be alive, even though Charlie Kirk himself probably wanted there to be guns. I didn't want to restrict the freedom to bear arms. He would be alive today if it hadn't been for the guns. So just think about that. Think about, do we really want to continue to allow private citizens to own guns when all these shootings and murders have been taking place? So I think personally that maybe a gun ban is the only way to stop these murders from continuing and these mass shootings from continuing. They need to restrict the ownership and use of guns. And people would need to turn their guns in to the government if we banned guns. And there have been people who say they would rather die than turn over their guns, and that they would shoot at the law enforcement if they came to get their guns. There's lots of people like that out there. So there would be lots of shootings and lots of police officers getting killed trying to retrieve guns from people. So we have to have a balance. We have to figure out how best to stop these murders and how best to stop these shootings. And if it means taking certain guns away, like just AR-15 style guns or a certain type of gun, then that's what we should do. But we don't know if we can take all guns away, because people will retaliate against the government if they try to take their guns away. But the mass shootings have to stop. We have to stop them no matter what it takes to stop these mass shootings. The mass shootings have to end. So you guys have a great week and take care. Oh, something coming up right now. I'll just allow it to be as of today. As of today, our Harvest Moon Festival begins. And for Harvest Moon Festival, we bake baked goods. And also sell baked goods, but we have a temple to sell baked goods from, so we just sell the baked goods or eat the baked goods at home. So we bake baked goods during the Harvest Moon Festival, and we enjoy the baked goods. So enjoy baked goods. Make yourself and your family maybe some chocolate chip cookies or some pumpkin cake or pumpkin bread or zucchini bread, one of those, and enjoy this Harvest Moon Festival with your friends and family. And oh yes, we share with our friends and family and others what we've learned over the summer. Like if you took summer classes over the summer, you share what you've learned during the Harvest Moon Festival. So you share what you've learned with your friends and family and offer baked goods, and you'll be all right. And of course, the Harvest Moon Festival ends with Thanksgiving dinner. And you can have anything you want to eat at your Thanksgiving dinner. So I'll see you next time.